Hi everyone, so in this video we're going to go ahead and start to talk about ionic compound nomenclature. And nomenclature is basically a fancy way of saying the rules for naming. So more simply, today we're going to learn how to name ionic compounds. Okay, so the first step when naming an ionic compound is to write the name of the cation. Now, if the cation is a monatomic ion, which it usually is, we simply write the element name. So if it's sodium, it's just plain old sodium. If we see magnesium, we just write magnesium. If the cation is a polyatomic ion, and the only one we're going to deal with that is a polyatomic cation is ammonium, NH4+1, then we write the polyatomic ion name, ammonium. There's also a special case for transition metals, but we're not going to deal with that in this video, so stay tuned for that one. Okay, so as we know, the second part of ionic compounds is going to be the anion. So the next thing we need to do is to write the anion name. And there's two different possibilities depending upon, again, whether we have a monatomic ion or a polyatomic ion. If we have a monatomic ion, so remember that's an ion composed of only one atom, then we're going to take off the regular ending and replace it with IDE. And I have the full list in your notes, and you can see it down below, of kind of the most common ones that you're going to have with that monatomic ion ending. And a lot of these are going to seem familiar. So you've probably heard of oxide before, or sulfide, or fluoride when you go to the dentist. Okay, so those are all the different types of ions we can have for monatomic ions. Now, if the anion is polyatomic, we're just going to write the name of that polyatomic ion. We do not change the IDE ending or any of that stuff. We just write what its name is. So pretty simple there. Okay, so let's go ahead and work through an example. NaO. So as I look at this, I see two capital letters, which is a sign of where my different elements begin. So the first one is Na, which is sodium, and the second one is O, which is oxygen. And in this case, both of those are monatomic ions. So that's going to be helpful with naming. So sodium, because it's the cation, I just leave the name as it is. I don't change anything. For the oxygen, the anion, because it's monatomic, I have to change the ending. So I take off the usual ending and I replace it with "ide." So oxygen becomes oxide. And then I just stick those two names together. So we get sodium oxide. Okay, this next one's a little bit more complex. So we see Mg, O, and H are capitalized. So Mg is magnesium, so that's going to be a monatomic cation, so we just name it as it is. But that O and H being capitalized, that is a sign that we have a polyatomic ion. Also, hint, anytime you see parentheses, that's another sign you have a polyatomic ion. So OH, if you look on our polyatomic ion list, is hydroxide. Now, this one already has that IDE ending, but regardless, I would not change the ending of the polyatomic ion anyways. So just take the cation plus the polyatomic ion, so magnesium hydroxide. Okay, so the next one, I see a capital N, a capital H, a capital O, and a capital H. So lots of capital letters, which is a sign I have some polyatomic ions going on. So NH4, as I think about it, that's going to be that one cation polyatomic ion we need to know about. So that is ammonium. And I just write the name ammonium as it is. Don't change anything about it. And OH, again, that's going to be the polyatomic ion hydroxide. So again, I don't change the ending or anything with it. I just use it as it is. So I put those two things together, I get ammonium hydroxide. Okay, so thanks for watching, everyone. I hope this helps. Make sure you're looking at your notes for those examples of the monatomic ide ending ions and also for your polyatomic ions. Otherwise, have a great day, everyone. Bye.